What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, HELIX 3.0, everybody's gaga over it. There's definitely some cool things to be excited about. Now, already there has been a crap load of videos covering pretty much everything that's been updated inside of HELIX. I wanted to take some time and familiarize myself with some of the new additions. So I've been playing with it for a few days. We're probably not going to jump into everything all at once. We'll do an overview of some of the things that I find to be the greatest improvements and the newest additions that I personally feel like I'm gonna get the most use out of. So we got some new amps, some new amp channels, some new speaker emulations, a whole bunch of pedals and effects, a lot of really cool synth and pitch stuff that is honestly pretty inspiring to play with, an acoustic simulator, and I think a few other things that I'm sure I'm forgetting. So why don't we head over to the computer and play around with HELIX 3.0. If you're into guitars, metal riffage, mixing, and everything in between, hit subscribe and follow along. Now, while there are a crap load of cool new features, this update's very effects heavy. There are three standouts so far to me, and that's what we're gonna go over. We will, of course, dive more into all the other updated effects and all the cool new features, all the cool new synth and delay and poly stuff. We'll dive into it as I use it. I'm not just gonna go and cram a bunch of crap in here. We're gonna go over my three standouts so far. Favorites. I don't wanna call it favorites because like the favorites is one of my favorites. Let's just, come on, quiet. Let's do it. One of the coolest features so far, new features, 3.0, is favorites. What is favorites, you ask? Well, we have a new tab over here. We have our presets, we have our IRs, we have favorites. Amazing. You can organize them by name, by device list, or by category. So as you can see, I have 2 distortions, 1 amp, and 1 cab saved so far. If you have like multiple favorites, I think you can save different settings as different favorites. As an example, you can have a Precision drive setup with 1 set of settings, save it as your baritone Precision drive favorite. Then you can also save it as your drop C favorite. You get the point? So if we wanted to build a tone here with some of our favorites, it's as simple as clicking on an empty block. I'll add my favorite stock cab or dual cab block. And all did you see what I did there? I'm on an empty block, double click, boom. And it comes up with the very same settings that I saved it at. So it has the 2 cabs that I've been blending lately, the mic selection for each of those cabs, the distance, the low cut, and the high cut settings. All right, ready to go. Let's add up a fan favorite, the badunk. Again, I double click, it brings up the amp exactly the way I saved it. I want the Precision drive, let's bring that up too. Double click, boom. So now I have 3 of my favorites already brought in. Talk about a time saver. One of these definite creature comforts that I think is really, really great that they added. And the possibilities are endless. You can save different cab combinations. You can save different settings for different delays and reverbs. I mean, really anything. And you can have everything organized. And if you're building a particular tone and you know like, oh, this would sound good with this effect I used on this other patch, you can have it saved in there. Pretty sweet, pretty sick. Instead of having to go through your presets, bring up one, copy the block, go back to the one you're working on, paste it in. This is a much better workflow. It's cleaner, it's more simple, it's organized. And I dig it. Favorites stand out so far. Now, the second of my standout features in HELIX 3.0 is the addition of user defaults. What is user defaults? Well, let me show you. So, the best example I'm going to use is, as many of you guys know, I like to add room reverb to my tones to give it a little bit of that studio kind of like real feel. So you go to Legacy, you go to room reverb. There's one thing I always do, and that's bring the mix down to about 16, 17%. Let's bring it down to 17%. Let's bring, the high cut's fine. Let's bring the low cut up to 200. And I'm happy with that. Now, I don't want to have to do that every single time. With the addition of user defaults, you can take this reverb, you right click, you go user default, boom. Now, the next time we drop this in, and I'll demonstrate that, it'll have these same settings. So remember, 17%. What else did we change? Low cut to 200 hertz. Cool? The nice thing is, if I right click, I can also set it back to factory default. In case, for whatever reason, you want to start from scratch. You don't remember what it was. You don't want to have to reboot or, reflash your entire Helix to get those defaults back. You can just revert back to the factory defaults. Such a well thought out thing. So let's go to this tone I'm working on, chainsaw. If I come over here to this empty block, I go to reverb, legacy, room reverb. Look at that, 17%, 200 hertz for the low cut. It brought up the defaults that I like. Just another way to save yourself some time. So if you know you use something, but you don't use it all the time, or you don't use it enough to warrant putting it in your favorites, you can just set up your defaults, your default starting position. Talk about it. It's just another, like I said, what's the phrase so far? Creature comfort. This is a great addition. It's just something to help you, speed up your workflow. It's Helix trying to get out of your way is what it's doing, in my opinion, and I think it's super sick. So far, the third standout feature to me, and this isn't in any particular order, it's the addition of the Horizon drive, or the Precision drive by Horizon Devices. I have the real pedal. I've had it for a few weeks now, maybe a couple months. I love it, and it's super sick that now that I got that pedal finally, they put it into Helix. So thank you, Line 6, for saving me some, effort, money, whatnot. So let's play around a little bit with this Precision drive, shall we? Now this is me diverting from the point of this video was my highlights, but we're gonna dive a little deeper with this one. So this is the Horizon drive going into the Badunk, going into the 4x12 Uber T75. Sick tone. Now you'll notice I have a noise gate and an effects loop here because, like I said, I have the real Precision drive down there. So what we can do, and I already saved us some time, but I had this set up and I recorded 2 clips, one with the real, actual Precision drive, and then that same group of riffs or a clip with the Helix version. So instead of me going and then let's just go to the DAW and listen to what I played. The point I'm trying to make here, and I don't think that we need to do this anymore, but I know people are going to ask, how does it sound compared? How does it sound compared? Like, can we just stop questioning their methods and acknowledge that their emulation, the process in which they go through to emulate these cabs, pedals, and effects, it's pretty damn spot on. In my humble opinion. It's my opinion, okay? It's not gospel. It's not facts. It's my opinion. Let's go to the DAW. Okay, so I'm here in Studio One, and I have the same couple super boring riffs recorded. One version is with the real Precision drive, and the other is with the Helix's Precision drive. And I'll just bounce back and forth, and you can hear. Now, again, I'm going to preface this with, you're using dials, real-world dials, that don't have like numbers or indicators really, except for the attack, which is a stepped knob. Everything is just a regular analog knob that turns. There's no numbers, there's no indicators where you are. In Helix, there's obviously like numbers, you know, the level goes from 0 to 10. So perfectly matching is going to take a little bit of time. Did I spend meticulous hours trying to match them perfectly? No. I spent a significant amount of time, but any variation, as far as I'm concerned, is just in the fact that the settings might vary a bit. Okay? Cool. Let's listen. Now it's funny, there's going to be a bunch of people that insist they hear some sort of massive difference. And I say that's funny because I have these headphones on and I played with it for quite a while, not hours like some of you apparently insist I do, but I can't really hear a difference. And the point is, Helix and the guys at Line 6, spot on once again. I did a comparison between the Tube Screamer inside of Helix and the real thing, and it was pretty indistinguishable as far as I'm concerned, and I think the same thing applies here. Now, who thinks, you know, track 1, is that the real pedal? Or is that Helix? Track 2, is that the Helix or is that the pedal? I'll play a little bit again, you can guess. Pretty damn close. You guys think you have an idea of which one's which? Boy, I really dislike when people do this in videos, and here I am. I'm just doing this to appease you guys. I think it sounds good. I think it sounds great. Even if it sounds a little bit different, I think it sounds sick. You know, it's the architecture of the Precision drive. It's like the point of why you use the Precision drive. It's in the Helix now. If it's not... Anyhow, you want to know which one's which? Top track is the real one. Bottom track is the Helix one. Pretty cool, huh? So that was just the long road to me saying my third favorite feature, again, in no particular order, is the introduction or the addition of the Precision drive inside of Helix. I'm having a blast so far. I do like the diesel VH4. I had no opinions on it to begin with. Lots of people love diesel amps, love the VH4. I know a lot of people are excited. So the next video is going to be me kind of doing like tones from scratch, using some of the new stuff from 3.0. So keep an eye out for that one. It'll be the next video. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your favorite introductions or additions or features that were added to Helix 3.0. I know a lot of people were looking forward to 3.0. I'm of this camp, guys. This is my mentality. There is already a crap load in the Helix that I haven't even touched yet, that I don't fully utilize, that I still have to play with and experiment with. Every time that there's a new update, we get even more that I'm gonna need time to get to. I'm happy with the Helix. I was happy 3 updates ago. So I am super stoked everybody's excited. Don't get me wrong. I'm just, it's like people are going to start, what's the next update? What's the next update? Hey man, just use this tool and start writing and being creative. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, guys, those are my favorites so far. Those are my favorite additions.
All appropriate links down below in the description, including links to my music. And if you dig what I'm putting down, hit subscribe and follow along.
So needless to say, Line 6 gave us a lot of things we didn't think we needed, things we were hoping for, and a bunch of creature comforts that'll improve our workflow. It's kind of getting to the point where we have too many amps and too many cabs, but that's just my opinion. I hope you guys got some use out of this video. I hope you found it helpful. Thank you guys so much for being here. Special shout out to those of you supporting me over on Patreon, and of course here as YouTube members. And if you're looking for other ways to support me, the channel, and what I'm doing, I of course have music for sale on Bandcamp and streaming everywhere music is streamed. And if you're a Helix user and you find yourself needing a little bit of help, I do have a preset pack available. It's my first preset pack. I'm working on number 2. But preset pack number 1 is available on my webpage, nickhelmakesmusic.com. Based on the feedback I've been given, it's a very good resource to help people get up and running and get some good sounds out of their Helix right away. I also encourage everybody to use it as a tool to see what I did to get the sounds that you guys can hear inside of that preset pack. Thanks so much to everybody who's already picked up the preset pack. The reception has been above and beyond anything I could have imagined, so thank you so much. More importantly, I'm glad you guys are finding it useful and it's helping you be creative. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next one.